أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear 9th class students, today we have to discuss a topic. It is named as the Civil War. लेकिन इस टॉपिक को समझने के लिए we have to recapitulate the important points of the previous topic. The last topic that was discussed by us, it was October Revolution, also known as Bolshevik Revolution. The October Revolution was led by the Bolsheviks when the provisional government failed to control the situation in Russia. The Bolsheviks appointed themselves as the leaders of various government ministers and seized the control of the countryside. These Bolsheviks were led by Lenin. Who was this Lenin? I have already told you. He was a Russian communist revolutionary, a politician, and a political theorist as well. It was under the administration of Lenin that Russia, as well as the Soviet Union, became one-party socialist state governed by the Russian Communist Party. October Revolution or Bolshevik Revolution was a seizure of the state power by the Bolshevik Party. The revolution took place with an armed insurrection in Petrograd on October 25, 1917. After the October Revolution, many changes took place in Russian country. The important change was that land was declared as a social property and peasants were allowed to capture the lands of the nobility. Today, we have to discuss civil war. Let me make you aware about the meaning of the civil war first. What does civil war mean? Civil war simply means a war between the citizens of the same country. Talking of the civil war of Russia, it was fought in November 1917 between the Red Army and the White Army. The Red Army was of communists who were the supporters of the social property, and the White Army was of liberals and nobility who were the supporters of the private property. That means ये जो communists थे, they declared land as social property, and these White Army, which was comprised of liberals and nobility, they declared land as private property. A war between this Red Army and White Army of Russia in November 1917 is simply known as Civil War, right? Bolshevik uprising was criticized by liberalists and nobility. The leaders of these groups moved to the South Russia and organized troops to fight against the Bolsheviks. यानी अक्टूबर रिवॉल्यूशन के बाद जो बोल्शेविक अपराइजिंग थी उसको जो क्रिटिसाइज करने वाले थे, there were two groups, one is liberalists and second is nobility. और उन्होंने क्या किया, the leaders of these groups they moved to the South Russia और वहां पे उन्होंने ट्रूप्स को ऑर्गेनाइज किए to fight against the Bolsheviks, right? And they were supported by, that means these liberals and nobles, they were supported by France, Britain, Japan as well as America, because these countries were worried over the growth of socialism in Russia, as a result of which a civil war began in Russia. मैं फिर से यहाँ पे रिकैपिटुलेट करना चाहूंगा. नवंबर 1917 में a war between Red Army was of communists and White Army, it was of these liberals and nobles. A war between them in November 1917, that means a war between the citizens of the Russia, it is simply known as the Civil War. You know, the supporters of private property took hard steps with peasants who seized land. यानी जो White Army थी, liberals and nobles थे, they took hard steps with peasants जिन्होंने अक्टूबर रिवॉल्यूशन में हमने देखा उन्होंने सीज किया था लैंड. Such actions led to the loss of popular support for the non-Bolsheviks. My dear students, by January 1920, the Bolsheviks controlled most of the former Russian Empire due to the cooperation with non-Russian nationalities. The mechanism of centralized planning was introduced and fire plans were made. This led to the industrial growth of Russia. Peasants and workers were encouraged to enroll into the universities. Cheap public health care was given to the workers. Since the government resources were limited, the effects of these measurements were uneven. I will recapitulate. Bolshevik uprising जो थी उसको जो criticize करने वाले थे, they were two groups. One is liberals and second is nobles, because they were the supporters of private property, right? और उन्होंने troops तैयार किए so that they can fight against these Bolsheviks. So, in November 1917, a war between the Red Army and the White Army, a war between the communists and the liberals and nobles, this is simply termed as the Civil War of Russia. And the supporters of private property, that means these nobles and liberals, they took hard steps with peasants who seized land. और ये जो actions थे, such actions led to the loss of popular support for the non-Bolsheviks. तो उसके बाद जनवरी 1920 में हम देखते हैं ये जो Bolsheviks है, they controlled most of the former Russian Empire due to the cooperation with non-Russian nationalities. लेकिन यहाँ पे मैं बोलना चाहूंगा कि जो ये liberals and nobles थे, उनको जो support करने वाले थे, there were some countries supporting them, which includes France, Britain, Japan and America, because these countries were worried over the growth of socialism in Russia. So, the mechanism of centralized planning was introduced. तो उससे क्या हुआ? And also the fire plans were made. उससे क्या हुआ? This led to to the industrial growth of Russia. Now, peasants and workers जो थे, they were encouraged to enroll into the universities, as well as cheap public health care was given to the workers. क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के जो रिसोर्सेज थे, they were limited. Since the government's resources were limited, the effects of these measurements were uneven. I think this is all about this topic, that is civil war. Now, in the coming topics, we will discuss the impact of Russian Revolution on the world, as well as the impact of Russian Revolution on India. मुझे उम्मीद है कि आपको ये टॉपिक अच्छी तरह समझ में आएगा, और इसके बाद भी अगर आपको कहीं पे भी कंफ्यूजन हो, आई एम हियर टू आंसर each and every question of you. I think this is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.